Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Duke Silver and today we have a rare King Midas game for you. Yeah, so like honestly I don't often pick King Midas. I think it's one of my least picked heroes in the entire game. I've played it like maybe 4 or 5 times. The experiences I've had with it have just generally been negative, so I kind of veer away from it. But we had a pretty mediocre hero selection, and I just kind of asked chat for suggestions, and they said play King Midas, so I'm playing King Midas. And yeah, you can select mediocre heroes for me to play too if you come over and hang out on Twitch. Yeah, my Twitch will be in the description if you're interested. Anyways, into the game. Okay, so we locked for a golden chicken. I'm not sure how good that is. Like, obviously we don't make any money off chickens with King Midas, so basically I'm just hoping that I can cash it in and get a decent like pair later or something. Maybe be able to pair up something on level 3 or 4 with the extra gold. We don't really gain any stats from golden chicken either, so it's literally just a place to hold gold for a couple turns. And this is kind of an awkward shop. We're gonna take a Princess White here because it's gonna flip our Lonely Prince, and it's also a 3/5 on 3.0. It's still a character on the board. It still battles for at least a turn. I could have just taken a 1/1 Happy Little Tree here, but I'm not super interested in that at 3.0. It's possible I should have taken the first Happy Little Tree in the beginning of the game that we saw, but I decided against it. And here we're gonna lock the Cinderella. There's a couple eggs there. We could get a large golden egg, but I'm pretty sure it's not gonna do a lot for us. So I'd rather buy the Cindy and then see if we can roll into a spell and something. And we find a lucky, so we find our first dwarf. Also, another reason that Princess White is not too bad is because it's gonna give us treasure if we can find some dwarves. And I think King Midas doesn't hate playing dwarves. All right, and we're actually gonna win this fight, even though we're down a character on 3.1. So we had a pretty weak board, and we get our lucky value as well as winning that fight. So we're gonna take some experience, and then we're gonna roll again. We still have this golden chicken, so I feel pretty confident that we can roll into a 4 that I can just cash it in for, and then we have a decent little turn of experience plus a little bit of extra stats. But unfortunately, we don't find any 4s we want to cash in for. I do want to improve the board this turn, and so I am gonna sell the chicken, and we're gonna triple this tiny, which I'm not a huge fan of because it trades down so easily. But it is quest progress towards our Princess White, as well as we can buy this baby dragon, which on 3.2 can be still relevant for taking out supports, as we see there, which we do. All right, and unfortunately, we don't win this fight, but we do minimize damage as much as possible, and we're definitely going to take a friendly spirit here. A golden friendly spirit is such a huge amount of stats, so I'm a big fan of that on Midas here. And these upgrades we're not interested in at all, but I think we're going to take the feasting dragon here. Hopefully get some scaling on our shop. There's a world where the friendly spirit stats will go onto there. We're gonna play it in 4 and hope that it lands on feasting dragon. And also we're gonna make our board just a little bit, well, technically not weaker, because we're gonna buy this worm root, and I'm gonna sell the dragon and vampire for a worm root on the friendly spirit, which does actually make our board better. Even though we're playing a 2/2, the +3/+3 on the spirit, as well as when it lands on whatever it does land on, is gonna be more stats than we would have otherwise. And yeah, it landed on the feasting dragon, so we get 2 slays, which is fantastic, which means we get to buy a 5/5 Lady of the Lake, which we are very happy about. And we get to upgrade our friendly spirit now. Now, I'm not super interested in the Frog Prince upgrade. Like, it's okay, it's an extra few stats, but I do want to get the Cinderella closer to finishing the quest, so we're gonna We're gonna cast a Mix-a-Wizzle. I'm just trying to figure out on exactly where I want to put it. And I think it's gonna be the Princess White. It's got some extra stats, and then a random 4 could potentially be good. And it might have turned into a Lady of the Lake and instantly combined, but we get a Godmother, which is, it's not great, but it's fine. It's gonna add some stats to our board, so we're not entirely unhappy with it. We get another Feasting Dragon Slay, and the Friendly Spirit stats are gonna let us easily close out this fight with the giant Godmother. All right, and our lucky stats go on to a Fanny. We were just about to kind of abandon the whole dwarf plan, but since we get a discounted Fanny, we're definitely going to take that, and the dwarves are gonna stick around at least a little bit longer. All right, and then we find a Wombats, and Wombats is a character that I'm really happy to upgrade as soon as possible. So we're gonna take that. Also, it's got the extra stats from the Feasting Dragon, so if we find another one and upgrade it, it's gonna have a decent chunk of stats, and then we're gonna start spitting out some very large summons from it. Tempted to lock for this Friendly Spirit, but we want to just sell and cast a spell and get our level 2 treasure, and it's a Hermes Boots, which doesn't really help us all that much this turn, but hopefully down the line we'll be able to make some better use of it. We get a cut purse out of our Wombats, which gets a Slay, so that's an extra gold. Always love to see that. Unfortunately, we knock Zippy to 1 and don't take them out. They're about to get very strong, I assume, because it's Zippy. We get to upgrade both our Lucky and our Fanny this turn. So now that we're getting very close to finishing Princess White's quest here, now I'm gonna start buying dwarves, like just ones that I'm not even gonna play, just to get the final quest counters down here. Some kind of awkward breakpoints, but I think we have enough stats to win the fight still. They get a pretty good summon in Robin Wood out of their Wombats, but our Friendly Spirit stats going onto this Vulture is enough to take them out and eliminate the World Tree Horde Dragon from the lobby. All right, so we get our golden Wombats. Again, it's 1621, so it's going to be putting a ton of stats on whatever it summons. It's going to be giving 32 plus 42. Level 3 treasure is not exactly the greatest. We'll take Sting. It's just going to add to our Friendly Spirit stats that we're handing out. So we're pretty happy about that. And then we find a TLK, and it's a little awkward to TLK this Wombats, because Wombats is is kind of our best character. But whatever we get is going to give us some direction and maybe give us a path out of these dwarves. So we're going to fire it off, and I guess we're just dwarves. Also, I took a little too long deciding on the TLK, and I didn't get a chance to lock the doubly in the shop, which is a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, now that we have a golden lordy, we definitely have direction, and we've already got a bunch of golden dwarves, so we're kind of set up really well. Also, it's worth noting that it's 5.2, and we find another lordy, of course. But yeah, it's 5.2, and we're down to a top 3 now already. So now, and the other two are pretty healthy, so I expect them both to be very strong. As I mean, we've been knocking people out of the lobby and dealing a bunch of damage with all our golden characters, but the lobby still melted like a lot faster than I assumed it would. Yeah, and we're gonna fire off a Pigomorph because we do think they're strong. And then this Loki has Monkey's Paw and Horn of Olympus, and yeah, they put a bunch of stats on their back row. Fortunately for us, it's not quite enough to take down our dwarves. A little bit too late for Angry. Again, I assume that this other board is going to be quite strong as well. So we're just gonna try and find some relevant dwarves here. I mean, we would love to just find another lordy and upgrade that. We're definitely looking for Echo Woods and doublies, and yeah, we do want to upgrade this Tweedle as well, or we want to trade it out for something a little better. I'm just trying to gauge the strength there and whether I should take the Reckless Wager, and I decide against it. Alright, unfortunately we don't really find anything until this turn, and And I decide that we're strong enough that I'm gonna play down a character to get this golden lordy this turn. It kind of saves us a gold, so we don't have to spend a gold rolling or buying it and then rolling out of the shop next turn. And I figure, yeah, we with 2 golden lordies, we should be strong enough to dominate this fight, and we're much stronger, much stronger than I anticipated in comparison to that opponent's board. And there's an Echo Wood. Again, unfortunately, we're down to 4 gold, so we're gonna have to we're gonna sell down, and we're gonna play a character down to buy this Echo Wood this turn. We're against the Ghost, and I expect the Ghost is gonna be even weaker than the Beauty was, and yeah, so I'm definitely fine with it. It's just a matter of deciding which dwarf to get out of. And I figure I should keep the Lucky just in case we get some econ out of it, just in case this opponent is able to take the Lucky down and give us a little bit of value. But looks like this Morte went a little too all in on dragons, and they ended up a little weak there at the end, at least compared to our board, anyways. So yeah, we're gonna pick an Amy up. We just want to fill up the board with a relevant dwarf, so before we roll down and don't find anything. And we find an upgrade for our Tweedledee here. Unfortunately, we can't buy anything from the shop, so we're just going to cast a Flourish on the Echo Wood. I don't think the stats matter ever, but it's better than just incinerating 3 gold. This way we only incinerate 1 gold, and then have a slightly bigger Echo Wood. Alright, and the Echo Wood is enough to take down the Loki. The Loki is quite strong. This Beauty is not what I would describe as strong. But we do have to worry about the Loki a little bit. Right, but getting the golden Tweedle is going to be good. It's going to give our Echo Wood more stats, as well as just give us a bunch. Or it's going to, when it summons its Tweedledum, it's gonna have a huge amount of stats with our double golden lordy here, and supported by Fanny. All right. So we don't really find anything else, but we remember the Loki did have Monkey's Paw, and I wasn't gonna lock this shop, but as you can see down in the bottom there, somebody in chat suggested buying a Medusa for a Loki, and I figured, you know what, that's probably a good idea. I mean, if they're still playing Monkey's Paw, then they're taking away one of their characters with a Medusa is gonna be really powerful, and the fact that we have the Hermes boots already just like makes Medusa kind of a no-brainer here. We are gonna have to play down a dwarf though, which means like we're still gonna play the Echo Wood. So our Echo Wood is gonna get a little bit less stats, and our dwarves are gonna get a little less stats overall. But I figure getting the scam on one of their powerful frontline characters is gonna be worth it, because we're gonna be eliminating a lot of stats if we can take out one of their things, giving their backline a bunch of stats. Another Tweedle. We could sell for it, but I figure it doesn't really replace. I don't think it replaces the Fanny. I mean, it's definitely better than the Fanny, but I don't think that I wanted it enough. I would rather look for Loki, or for Lordy. And yeah, I guess they decided to just forego their Monkey's Paw buff totally there, and play a full board of characters, but it doesn't matter. We still have enough stats to get the win, even though they kind of played around our Medusa just a little bit of a, I don't know if it was just good timing or what, but yeah. And there we have it, a King Midas win, and with that is actually my 900th crown with King Midas dwarves of all things. So yeah. So yeah, that was kind of a fun one. And yeah, again, Midas, a hero that I don't really play, and yeah, it ended up working out really well. To be fair, we got a very lucky TLK to go into dwarves, but I mean, we could have went into anything really from there, I think. But yeah, but it just ended up working out for dwarves. But yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel out, and I really appreciate it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of the game. I respond to every comment. And yeah, again, if you wanna come and hang out and see some of these games live, my Twitch will be in the description, and I'd love to see you over there. And yeah, I think that's it for now. I guess I will just see you tomorrow.